Hi viewers, welcome to Saturday Sports in ACTN TV. Today I have a very interesting topic for you in sports medicine. I am very fortunate to interview someone which is in the medical field and went to Russia to know about this new technology. Then he came back and he's adamant to teach Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. In fact, he went to Jamaica. He assessed some top track and field athletes. Everybody knows the top track and field athletes, especially the one from Jamaica. And he proved that this technology really works. And today we are going to learn about it. So, hi, it's
Hello.
my pleasure to see you,
Hello,
Mr.
Sarah.
Richard Charles. I'm very sure that the public is waiting to know more about you. So can you tell us about you, what do you do, and a little bit about this new technology?
Thank you, Solange. And to the viewers out there, it's a pleasure to be able to speak today on this sport program to tell you all about something very exciting that is actually happening worldwide. So my name is Richard, and I did travel to Russia about 5 years ago, and we got this science where it allows us to test athletes on the spot. In fact, they are testing athletes while we speak right now worldwide in many countries where teams have our equipment and they can test athletes, being able to show how their rate of recovery is, how much stress you can put the athlete under, and whether they can survive or not. So what we are hoping to do in Trinidad and Tobago is to be able to ensure that we don't have any more episodes of athletes dying of sudden cardiac arrest. Not only in North America, but even in Trinidad and Tobago, as you know, we have lost at least 3 athletes from heart attacks. I think they were football players. I did speak to the former Minister of Sport when he was in sport, the sport ministry, and he told me that he would help us get to the Ministry of Health, but that never materialized. However, as recently as last year, we had a Jamaican kid, 18 years old, die of a heart attack, a young upcoming star. We went to Jamaica, and the Jamaican people accepted us because of what was happening there. They were more sensitized to athletes and their training programs. In fact, we were fortunate enough to test some of the actual track and field stars on the team that went to Brazil for the Olympics in Jamaica.
Wow.
We also went, we were invited at the University of Technology, and they are also using our equipment there. And because of that, JC Foster is now using our equipment to test athletes. And more recently, the Defense Force of Jamaica, their head cardiologist, Major Gail Ranglin Edwards, is also a consultant to our firm in this region. And so she is working with doctors in Jamaica. So as they test their athletes, if our system ever flags anyone, like you saw earlier, where it's flagged red, we pull them off the team. We send their report to Dr. Edwards, and she interviews them. She sees them. In fact, because our system is so up to date and we use internet, you as a team doctor can be in another country, and you can get this live report immediately on your cell phone or tablet or computer. That is what we're doing. So we are introducing a science where we are saying we can test athletes, and we want to do that. We have had instances in Trinidad and Tobago where gym instructors have died of a heart attack. We have had a golfer in Trinidad and Tobago 2 years ago died in St. Andrews. And if any golfers are out here, they will know that the most hazardous course in the Caribbean is the Pointe-à-Pitre golf course, where many golfers have had heart attacks on the back nine. So we have people working hard, trying to get fit, trying to get healthy, made money, and now they suffer from heart attacks because nobody took the time to do ECG.
That is right.
Right? So what we're saying, Solange, is our test is simple. It takes 30 seconds. You out there, if you want to do an ECG and you're a woman, you don't have to get undressed. You can do 4 leads, 2 on the hands, 2 on the limbs, keep your clothes on, and you're sitting down. So you get a sitting ECG, not a resting ECG. And this information is recorded. It goes to our server in Germany, and that program screens it, reads it, and creates a complete ECG strip that a doctor will be accustomed to, as well as the 2D image of the heart that you saw earlier. So what we can do now is our program will flag it, and then we take this report and we say you can go to your doctor, or if there is a team doctor that is working with us, we can send them the coordinates and they can go online and receive all of this information in lifetime.
How do you become aware of it?
Because of my travels in our company, our company originally is Park Distributors. That's our health distribution company, where we started this company 19 years ago with a view to developing alternative methods of treatment. We found that too much conventional medicine by the big pharma companies, they create havoc with people's lives. You go to get treated for one disease and you end up with symptoms of other diseases. So our company first developed a product 19 years ago called Alcoxerol. It's a shark liver oil formula designed to build the immune system. So like young women are suffering from lupus, or people have arthritis, or they want to build the immune system. We have people alive for more than 15 years after having had cancer from just this supplement. So we started that trend 19 years ago. And in the last 5 years, the evolution of becoming a company that developed or is using worldwide technology to fight disease and to detect disease earlier is what we are about. So 5 years ago, this division started through Park Diagnostics, where we have two machines. One allows us to scan the whole body in 7 minutes. Without asking any questions, we can scan your body, read the energy of all your organs that are attached to your nerves, which are connected to your spine, and we read that from the skin, or what the Chinese call the acupuncture points or the meridian points. And based on this information, we can get a report and tell someone what is the state of their body, whether they have too much carbohydrates, whether they're developing diabetes, or whether they're at risk for liver or cancer. We can show this. So then the next machine was the ECG machine, the Park Cardio Screening Device, which is what we're introducing here today. And this machine will allow us to test athletes. If you are a coach out there, I want to say that for a very, very inexpensive price, and if you want, I can tell you today, we're doing cardio screenings for as little as $100.
$100. So that means that it is affordable for anyone.
Yes, for $100, we can test the athletes. They can come to our office, and if our system flags them, they go to their doctor, and their doctor can read the report and then determine whether they want to do a full ECG, whether they want to do a stress test, an echo stress test, or put them on medication, or do additional blood work. So we are not working against doctors. So for the doctors out there, I want to welcome you to call us, ask us for our files. We have a medical website called lookatmyheart.com, and in there you will find the medical references to support the science. And this science for the doctors out there is called the science of dispersion mapping, where we analyze the QRS complex. And this is the new method of analyzing ECGs and the heart rhythm. Through this science, we can pick up information that is normally not available through a serial ECG device. Because a serial ECG device is programmed to read a frequency at a certain range. The ECG machine that we have here, our Park Cardio Screening Device, actually is programmed at a lower frequency. So that low amplitude oscillations that is invisible to the human eye, that a doctor will not normally be able to read from a traditional serial ECG, he will now have access to that. And because of that, the European Journal of Medicine have reported that our machine can pick up ECG symptoms with regard to left ventricular hypertrophy a lot sooner than a traditional machine.
Okay. I know you mentioned that you have worked with athletes.
Yes.
So coming from a sporting background, I remember in Cuba we used to do that like every month, and it was obviously we didn't have this sort of technology. We used the resting one. But I do understand the importance of getting your heart checked very often. But my question now is, will there be any difference if you do the testing in any particular stage of the training? Because in the training we have general preparation, a specific preparation, pre-competitive, competitive, and transition. So I want to know, for example, if you are going into the competitive stage now, so you're going to be more anxious, more excited. So if you do the test there, you know, it's going to be different from if you do the test in the general preparation, you know?
Well, that's a very good question, and our test also reveals stress. It also can be used for the professional athlete to determine his recovery time,
Right.
the kind of load that we can put him under. Our program has been successfully used by the Olympic boxing team and weight training team of Olympics in Russia. We have many soccer players, they use it, and the coaches determine how much load they can give that athlete.
Wow, that is interesting. So that means that your technology now is able to determine whether the athlete should finish training or if the athlete is fit, you know, to participate in the competition, or if there is something wrong with the athlete.
Well, I can give you an example. In Jamaica, we were privileged to test some of the top track and field athletes. As you know, Jamaica is the capital of the world with regard to track and field. And one of the leading coaches at J.C. Foster College, they were testing our systems, and we were testing athletes. And in particular, what they did that day was they had us test athletes before they ran, after they ran. And in particular, they wanted to see whether our system identified athletes that were not fit. So without knowing, they sent somebody out to train, and then they brought them back to us, and our system flagged them as red and showed that they had a problem, and they smiled because this confirmed what they knew.
Wow.
So we have coaches that are using our systems in Jamaica. We have medical doctors that are using it, and they're currently beginning a testing program through the secondary school systems. They are very big in football. I met with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and they are making arrangements for us through the Minister of Sport to introduce this at a national level to test all of the children in the athletic programs at the secondary school level.
Have you taken any steps to engage the sporting entities here in Trinidad and Tobago, like Ministry of Sports?
We did contact the TTFA. In fact, currently we are waiting. We contacted the General Secretary, Mr. Azad Khan. We did contact the team doctors. We spoke with Minister Darrell Smith at the time. The Bazi School, when they tested there, we tested several people, and some people are aware of us. Some doctors are aware of us. We have doctors like Dr. Ron Henry knows about our science, and he is supportive of us, so we send the patients there locally. But generally, maybe through this program, an opening might be created so we can sensitize the administration, the government, even the Prime Minister, because he's an avid golfer, and golfers are affected by this. I've spoken to golfing coaches who are very, very serious about having us find a national program to make athletes be tested. But no, to answer your question, we have not been that fortunate, and hopefully this interview will open that door for us.
Yeah, and it is very important because I think a couple of weeks ago we have this guy from hockey who also died from a heart attack. I think he was 21 years old. He was very young. And I'm sure that if he would have been exposed to this sort of technology, you know, something could have been put in place, you know, for him not to. So after you get the test done, right, how do you get the results? You get the results automatically, or you have to wait like a couple of hours or a couple of days, or what?
Solange, that's the most amazing thing. In the first instance, we can go to the teams on location, or the gyms on location, and test all the athletes.
Wow.
In 2 minutes.
So that means that you do not have to come to the office. I mean, you
That's
can
right.
make yourself available and go to them. Right?
We can do groups, and instantly, through the power of the internet, the ECG tracings are sent to Germany. Our program reads it and highlights or flags the athletes that need cardiological assessment urgently. So when you have a red flag, the most responsible thing as a coach is to send them to the team doctor or the head cardiologist.
And if they do not have any head cardiologist or team doctor, you can recommend someone they could visit.
Certainly,
right?
certainly.
Right.
We do have a team of international cardiologists, even Russian doctors. We have doctors in Lebanon. We have doctors in Europe that are working with us. And we'll be more than happy to work with any local doctor. If there are any doctors here that are curious about this, we have all the medical files, all the scientific papers to support what we're doing. And we would be more than happy to even work with them and let them use our equipment as a trial in the office, no charge.
Really?
Yes, because we want people to become aware of what is happening. You know, last year an 11-year-old kid died in Miami after training track and field.
An 11-year-old?
An 11-year-old. Due to that, we have a former Bailey's twice-time Olympic track and field athlete, Jason Jones. He's working with us now to try to institute testing of kids in high schools in America. And he told me, as an athlete, he saw before his own eyes an athlete that collapsed of a heart attack and died at a college level.
Wow.
In America, we still have college athletes dying every year from sudden cardiac arrest.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yes.
Yes.
So we can make a difference. And I'm hoping today that if you're a coach out there or you're a parent and you have your child engaged in physical training, $100 is not too much to make sure you know your child can undergo the stress of the training that you're putting them through.
Wow, that is, I am actually very amazed that this is available for us now. It's very affordable, and it's not only for a sports personnel. Anyone could come and get your heart checked. It is very important. I did it, and trust me, I am a person who do not like to be around medicine at all. But I understand the importance, you know, of being checked regularly, because you can prevent something. And the fact that this is here for us, it has been tested in Jamaica, the equipment and from Russia. And the most important thing, you get your results right away. So it does not take anything to just come here, get your heart tested. So thank you very much. And I am sure that after we finish, after we air the program, many people will contact you. But before we go now, I want you to explain us what is this about.
Oh, thank you, Solange. Thank you very much.
problem.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is our very own portable device. So the test that you saw earlier on, where we use the computer, we don't have to use the computer. If you are a person who have had open heart surgery, and you want to monitor your heart to make sure your arteries do not get clogged, or you do not have to go and do surgery in 2 years instead of 7 years, you can use this device. It has simple clamps like this, so it's portable, highly portable. You put them on your feet and hands, even before you train, after you train, and you put this device in there.
Yeah.
It works with a local SIM, a digital SIM goes into here, and this lights up, and it takes about 2 minutes, not as 30 seconds, but 2 minutes, and it sends a signal directly to our server, and the answer comes back remarkably on your cell phone.
Really?
Yes.
So basically you just need that,
Yes.
a cell phone or
This
a
is
laptop, and that's it?
This is it.
It's very
Your cell
simple.
phone. And also, because doctors in Europe and in Saudi, they're using this to monitor their patients. So what the doctors are doing is they're sending them home with this device instead of the traditional Holter, because the Holter only records the heart for 24 to 48 hours. But this way the doctors are sending the patients home with this device, and they can keep it for like 2 weeks. So anytime they feel that fluctuation in their heart rate or that discomfort, they can actually do the test, and they text the doctor and say, "Doc, I didn't feel well last night, my report is there." And the doctor doesn't have to do anything. The doctor doesn't have to see the patient. He can go on his cell phone and see that information, just like you saw on the computer screen on his cell phone.
So that means that I could be here, and then you are my doctor, and then you are in Russia, and then you can see that. That is amazing.
And for doctors who want to use this device in their practice, the same way the nurses can prep the patient in the triage area and say, okay, we're doing BP, we're doing urine, the nurses can do the test. And even if the doctor is not in office, the doctor can then be notified by text from his secretary, "We just did a patient that was flagged red, what do we do?"
Wow.
So we can improve the efficacy of a doctor's operation, because cardiologists in this country don't have the time to see all the patients. There's a backlog. If you call the cardiologist today, because you were referred by a doctor, you'd have to wait weeks for an appointment. And even then, you'd have to wait hours in an office with an appointment. So this can reduce the time that business people or sick people or athletes can use to monitor their hearts, and the doctors can see what is going on with this simple device in a matter of seconds in real time.
So when it is flag red, what does that mean?
Well, we have two stages in being flagged red. One is urgent, that they see a doctor, and one is necessary, that they be examined. So if a person is urgent, it means that coach ought not to be training that athlete anytime we see red. Now there are various variations where we may have a brown, which say you can observe them, monitor them. That's okay to work with them. But if it's a red flag, we want them to be examined by a doctor. And by all means, we would recommend them to go to their doctor or their local cardiologist, as we have had done in this country.
Yeah.
And doctors have found out that our systems have shown problems after they did their complete testing, and they've supported it by treating their patients. In fact, in North America, the Massachusetts General Hospital have used our systems. We have the Miami Hospital in Brooklyn, New York, have also used it.
Okay, so that one I know. I just did that one,
This one?
A few minutes ago, yeah.
Right. This is the system that is used in the doctor's offices and in hospitals. It's attached to the computer. And as you can see, this is your computer. This is your new ECG machine for all the doctors out there. If you have more than one office, you can actually take your equipment in a pouch and go to this office and do ECGs there, or this office and do ECGs there, as opposed to the traditional serial machine, which is this big, that cannot be moved around.
They cannot be moved.
And this allows us to go on the spot to the teams. All we need is internet, and we test everybody out right there. They can have their emailed reports. If they don't have a doctor online, we email them the reports, and they go directly to the doctor if we flag the system.
How long in advance a coach have to call you to go and assess their team?
I would say we need 1 week in advance.
1 week in
Yeah,
advance.
1 to 2 weeks, and we could set it up.
And what about a regular person?
We are seeing people at least 3 days every week in our Woodbrook location, which is at 63 Carlo Street in Woodbrook. Usually Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays.
Which are your working hours?
Our working hours are currently from 10 to 6.
Okay. We are now in the CSC Games.
Yes.
Anyone who participated in the CSC Games got tested with you or not?
No, we haven't been able to. We haven't been able to.
Wow. Well, maybe after this, we are going to get some athletes that will be participating, in the Pan American Games. They could come. Do not wait, before you go to the game. Just come before, bring your coach, or let your coach bring you, and then you will get some insights as to how your preparation is going. Now, if you are not fit enough, you just come prepared to know that, the test is going to tell you are not fit enough, you need to exercise more, that sort of things. But always come, it is very important, to be aware of how healthy you are.
Well, one of the things we're doing right now, you met the lady inside. We're currently training 2 nurses, so that we're soon going to be offering services Monday to Saturday.
Yeah.
And for appointments, can I give my telephone number in case?
Yeah, sure.
Our telephone number is 686-9447. That is 686-9447. And you can also find out what we're doing on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. It's Park Diagnostics Limited. And the Park is spelled P-A-R-C. Park Diagnostics Limited. So we can get information there, make appointments, and call us again on 686-9447.
Okay, well, I will be calling you. I will be the first one to call. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It has been a pleasure for me to get to know this and to know that this is available for the athletes in Trinidad. And the most important thing, it's affordable and you get your results right away. So just come. It has been my pleasure to see you again. And as usual, keep good.